part 2, my explanation to my students. When it comes to, and then when, let me jump over those. That's 7. The 5 factors of enlightenment. The first one, again, if you put that in Google, you will see faith, sattha, unshakable faith and confidence. We hope that you all develop over time of observing how we keep precepts and how we practice on our own. Okay, energy, virya, same thing. Mindfulness, same thing. Concentration. You do all of these, it will lead to wisdom right down there. Again, wisdom aspect, threefold training. Oh, I think I meant to put 5 hindrances. Okay, the 5 hindrances. A review of them. First one is the hindrance of sensual desire. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. Yeah, sensual desire. Kamachanda. And, attachment to sensory gratification, leading to craving and clinging. This touches the 12 links of dependent origination. So again, once touch, feel, taste, chocolate, whatever, it will lead to sensory gratification. The suffering of the eyes and the suffering of the ears and the suffering of the mouth. Once you start opening your eyes, labeling, perception, feeling, it all has to develop. It's all going to get you in trouble. So just be very, very aware of the ayatana, which is the 5 sense, the 6th sense door, because the 6th one is the mind. Ill will, vyapada, ill will, hatred, right? Negative emotions like anger, hatred, resentment towards others or situations. Keyword, situations. That's why you guys need to master CBT, because situation is that activating event, and how our mind creates all sorts of stories and then jump to conclusions, and then I think he's running me off the road, I'm gonna XYZ. Torpor and sloth, which is laziness, lack of energy, and not keeping the precept on entertainment will lead to torpor and sloth. Restlessness and worry, a mind that is agitated, easily distracted, and prone to anxiety and worry because it doesn't meditate. The one-pointed concentration technique is the antidote to restlessness and worry, because you're in the present moment. You know that you're safe. If you're breathing right now, the rising and falling of the abdomen, you're safe. So why worry? Why jump ahead, right? Stay in the present moment. Present moment. And then the last one, to the hindrance, is skeptical doubt, refer to uncertainty, indecision, and lack of faith or trust in the path and practice. Well, people have doubt because they haven't read enough, or they have been misguided, and they don't have a good, qualified, authentic, and experienced teacher to show them what you need to read first, control the information coming in, information diet, so that you don't have doubt. Because everyone's got doubt. Like, how do we know Buddha's real? How do we know that meditation actually works? And so the teacher's there to tell you, okay, there's 9 qualities that proves that he's real. And then meditation works, and we don't really need to say much because, again, the scientific community has already done that for us. More than 20 scientifically proven evidence, empirical evidence base, that meditation is shown to have benefits for mind and body. So, the teacher, you need a well-rounded teacher, both West and East, understanding, to help the student, move past all of these very dangerous hindrances that could obstruct spiritual growth and development. So in this paragraph, this is what you all should be focusing on, and not Sariputra, making that statement and got put in place by the Buddha. So that's why you have to redirect your mind and not get attached onto, well, why would he ask and say that to the Buddha? When I'm reading stuff like this, I'm like, I don't care what he said to the Buddha. I don't even care if they fight in the middle or towards the end. I'm just going to move over here, because over here on the very end of the sutta is the checklist that it just takes so long for us to work through necessarily. And I have worked through every single one of these. So you all should know that I have worked through every single one of these before sitting here and preaching this, okay? And again, and these are some of the things that you also want to look in a teacher and see if they have actually moved past this themselves, if they have shown significant evidence, overwhelming evidence that they have ill will, or they're lazy, or they have pleasurable desire, sensual desire for something. That's why you need to look at the food aspect. You know, if a teacher's with you and he's always wanting a piece of steak, and it's always that $50 steak and it's always rare, he's got preferences, and it has become a habit. So maybe he's a little far from the word holiness, because I mean, if he's attached to a piece of steak, what else is he also attached to? If you know what I mean. So these are guidelines for you guys to screen your teacher, notwithstanding myself, but any teacher that comes along the path, to make sure that you're not wasting your time with someone who is heavily dealing with their kilesas, their defilements, while trying to hang on by a thread of teaching. You know, one should retire himself in teaching because he knows and sees these things in himself. One should not remain active in status in teaching while he's dealing with some of these things, because it could affect the faith of the people, which goes back to sattha, and that carries a very heavy karmic imprint, very heavy karmic consequence. If a teacher willfully, knowingly, and intentionally trying to teach the middle way when he himself is very far from the middle way, and he knows that he is far from the middle way, but yet exert confidence over inflation of the me, my, and the I, or his attainment, or, you know, just all that stuff. Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, so it's my job to, you know, teach you all, you know, not just what's in the book, but also realistically what to see, and so you can adjudicate, assess, and evaluate for yourself on the outs. You know, because down the road, if I myself retire myself, you know, or temporarily take a break and someone takes over or something like that, then you need to be mindful of these things. So this alone leads you to have appropriate awareness of who's teaching in front of you. Let us not have to remind ourselves previous sessions who was teaching to you. And how, and why, right? And so I was trying to make my point. You know, you cannot teach this if you don't follow the precepts yourself. It's just the golden rule. Just, you know. So, and again, and I emphasize heavily on turning inwards to individuals who want to do that, which is like, you don't need to share the demo with other people. You need to share the demo with yourself. If you share the demo with yourself, you are secure in the knowledge of true nature of reality, and you don't feel a need exterior to share it with anybody else. And only when you have fully brought yourself to complete peace and the ending of your suffering, that you have figured out the path and the methods leading to the path, the effective methods, and the carrying out of soul specific direction and instructions for people, skillfully so, that one, you know, steps outside that box to teach others. Right. So, you know, I put heavy emphasis on that.